Hey guys, what's going on? So welcome to the team fight, team call on Tuesdays at 9 o'clock. We are all here together, and this is a very special occasion. Stephanie Cruz is going to be guest speaking tonight, and I'm actually really excited to do this. This is her first time doing something like this, so maybe this is the start of something great. Who knows? But the topic is how to build relationships and how to find new people and whatnot. So she wrote a few notes, and me and her, I guess, are going to share our thoughts and, what has been working for us and what has worked for her. So if anyone wants to chime in, please feel free. But Stephanie, you can go whenever you're ready.
Cool. Awesome. So, hey guys, I'm really excited to be on here tonight. I've been talking to Rob about it for a while, and he's like, yeah, you know what? Tonight you're just going to do it. I was like, all right, I guess I'm doing this. I'm hosting this call tonight, so I'm really excited to just get on here. So a little bit about me. I've been a Beachbody coach since 2014. I started up absolutely zero interest in the business. I was just like, just get me a discount on Shakeology. I've got this advertising career. Like, I don't care about this stuff. And it wasn't until late in 2015 where I got overwhelmed with work that I started to realize, like, this is something legit and I can do something with this. And then, of course, it took me a while to actually get serious. 2016 was the year that I started to build more. And 2017 is the year that I'm like, I'm hitting this, I'm hitting these goals, and this is freaking happening. Like, I'm speaking this into existence. 5 years from now, I will be a full-time coach. And I'm just sharing this right now because I need you guys to hold. Okay, so these last 3 months, I have hit Success Club 5 every month, and I'm also speaking this into existence. This year, I'm going to hit Success Club All-Star Legend for the year. I'm going to hit it every single month. And if there's one thing I've always been pretty good at just throughout my life, it's always been making friends and building relationships. And I've used that to my advantage in this business. And if I'm going to be 110% honest with you, I would say maybe I put in 50% effort these last 3 months, and I still hit Success Club. So that goes to show that it really does have to do with building friendships and building relationships, because people start to trust you. So I came up with these little tips. I've got 4 tips on how to find new people, because obviously we need to find more people. You eventually you exhaust your family, your friends, and the people you already know, and also how you can end up making these relationships. So let me pull up my little tips here so I can I can remember. But yeah, obviously, our first vital behavior is invite. But we need people to consistently invite to, because as we grow, you hit Success Club this month. Now I'm like, okay, I need to find new people to hit it again and again and again. So going on to where to find people. That was always that was my first struggle at first. Because if there's one thing I've always told my team, I'm like, and I don't know if anyone else can agree with me on this, I'm like, the people in your immediate circle aren't going to be the people who are going to support you at first. Like, they are not. I maybe have had a few family members that I can count on one hand buy challenge packs. I've had a couple of close friends from from high school, like my really close friends, buy challenge packs. And those are usually the people who don't end up sticking through. And they're the people that make me want to pull my hair out, because I just really want to just shake them and tell them the truth. Like, this is what you need to do. You need to do these things. But those are the people that fail. So I've ended up making most of my success meeting people online. One of my most successful stories is on the call tonight, and her name is Rachel, and she's just been a rock star already. And we met online through Instagram. And so I want to share on how I've been meeting different people online and how you can hopefully meet some people that target you in your niche. So first tip, this is for specifically for Instagram, or maybe I love Instagram. That's just kind of my social media profile or platform that I like to use. But if you're like more into Facebook or Snapchat, the first thing that I recommend is talking about more things on your page than fitness. So people, think about yourself when you first started your journey. You weren't really fit, right? You weren't super into eating healthy. You weren't into all of these things. You're into other things. Maybe it's metal music. Maybe it's Harry Potter. Maybe it's gaming. Like, whatever it is, you were into other things. And so I personally think that you need to share more things on your page than fitness, because people aren't going to relate to those fitness posts right away, especially when they're starting their journey. They're going to relate to the other things. Like, a question people always ask me is like, what eyeliner do you use? I'm like, I pay $4 for Wet n Wild eyeliner, and I'm always sharing that. So it's just something that I recommend. Like, okay, you have to talk to people about more than one thing and make yourself attractive, and just fitness alone isn't one thing. So if it's helpful, like I would write down like a couple of other things that are your passion things. Like for me, one of my passions is just sharing my culture. You know, I'm Latina, I speak Spanish, I love the culture, I love the music, I love the food. So I'm just like sharing random things or random memes. And a lot of my market and the people I've met now are also Latinas. Hence, because I'm sharing other things. So that's the first tip. The second tip is to, once you know you're sharing these other things, is to start hashtagging them. So whatever that is, like I recently started to talk a little bit more about my profession. So I'm hashtagging ad life, work problems, desk job, like all of these different things to find ways to connect with these people. It's more than a hashtag though, because just because you hashtag something doesn't mean that people are like, oh my God, this person is just like me, so I'm going to connect with them. You know, after I hashtag my post, I'll click on the hashtags, I'll go through and I'll like a couple of people's posts. And then if like the post that I really feel connected to, like a couple of days ago, I saw another girl saying, like complaining about how many hours she was working. I like instantly commented. I was like, oh my gosh, girl, I know what you mean. Like clients are crazy. They make me want to pull my hair out. Boom, there was a new friend, a new person, someone else to connect to, someone else that I could be like, I know what it's like to work those crazy hours, but I still work out for 30 minutes a day, you know? Like one of those things. So, you know, find these hashtags, tag them to your posts, and then go and find that community, because that community and those interests that you have, other people have, and other people are hashtagging them. And those are the people that you're going to connect with, because those are the people you're going to find things to talk about that are more than fitness, that you're going to be able to build that relationship and that friendship with. Sorry, my phone broke, turned off. And then building off of that hashtags and the interests, my third tip is to go onto popular people's pages and like and comment people's posts. So I actually did this the other day. Like I follow a couple of like people who are like huge in weight loss journeys and stuff. And like this girl I follow, I think her name is Nancy's Journey. She's got like 200 and something thousand followers. She's just randomly a girl who just blew up on Instagram for sharing her journey. And obviously she doesn't have enough time to answer, I don't know, all 1,000 of her comments and stuff. So what do? I take advantage and I answer them. I'll go on some of her posts, like I'll go and I'll like a few of them, and then I'll comment the girls. And just today I've added 3 people to my Instagram page because I randomly followed them. And then after I followed them, I DM'd them and I was like, hey, I noticed that you follow this person too. Like, oh, that must mean that you're into, you know, such and such. Like, I'm into that too. You want to be friends? Or like something super random like that. It doesn't have to sound exactly like that. I mean, and this could be anything. Like maybe you're into like photography. Maybe you're into like surfing or something like that. And like you go on this popular person's page and like you see that someone else likes them, so you go and you like their comments, you reply, and you add a friend. Like that's just an easy way to find people who are interested in the same stuff that you are. And like I said, these people who get thousands of comments, they don't have time to reply to all these people. So maybe you'll see questions there. Maybe they'll ask questions about, I don't know, the game you're into or how the book is, or whatever the case may be that's pertaining to your niche and the people that you're following. That's just an easy way to make some friends and to build conversation. And especially when they go back on your page and they see that you're talking about similar things, they'll know like, oh, okay, this person's legit. Like she's not just a coach or whatever, or someone who just wants to share something with me. She's actually someone who cares about this and who has, you know, some sort of interest. So that's kind of my like tips just for Instagram. And then obviously, if you probably heard this before, but tip number 4 is to go into these Facebook interest groups, join them, right? But it's more than joining them. Like if you notice, you don't always get notifications for people who are posting in groups. Like you'll get certain notifications because those are the top people who comment in the groups. They're the people who share the most. And they're not only the people who post the most, they're the people who engage. They're the people who are going people's posts and them and liking them or back to them. And trust me, I work in advertising, so I know how this social and stuff works. Like the more you comment on things, the more conversation, Facebook is going to need information and give people those notifications. Like, okay, you know, Stephanie's obviously really active in this like Latina Strong group. Like, I'm going to make sure her posts go first. Like, that's kind of the way Facebook works. So it's more than just joining groups. It's getting in there and commenting on things, sharing a couple things throughout the day. And that doesn't necessarily need to take a lot of time. It could take 10 minutes every day. Like for 10 minutes, you're going to go in there, comment a few posts, post a couple things, or maybe it's like a picture. Like you'll save the picture and then you'll go post it there later, or you post it whenever you can. Like it's not something that should take a crazy amount of time, but that's just another way to engage with people. And then just like on Instagram, you're going there, you're liking people, you're adding them on your Facebook page, you're making friends because you have these same common interests. And just like on Instagram, tip number 5 is going on Facebook like pages. And on those same like pages, like I said, these people, again, there's like thousands of comments. They don't have time to reply to them. So that's your opportunity to get there and to start conversations, to converse with these people, to make new friendships, to maybe answer their questions that like someone who's ridiculously popular didn't have a chance to answer. Like that's your time to just go in there and not be pushy, but just be helpful. Be like, oh yeah, I saw that you had this question. Like I went through the same thing, or like I thought the same thing. Like what happened, with what's the thing that you project out of the wand? I'm blanking out and I'm such a Harry Potter nerd, but I'm nervous. So like, what's your spectro patronum or whatever the hell, like something like that. Or, it's going on those pages and just making those conversations, because it's easy. It's easy. And especially when it's something about like, when it's something you like, it's easy to just kind of hop in there and to start a conversation and make things go back and forth. It's not just going to be one-sided. And I don't know about you, but sometimes I feel like I'm talking to just like like it's just one-sided, and you don't want to feel like that. You want to feel a flow of conversations. You want to feel like I'm actually making a friend, and this is what works. So those are just like my first like 5 little tips on like where to find people and how to find new people. Because like I said, if we're not adding people to our network every single day, we're just missing out. Those are so many people whose lives can't be touched, whose fitness can't change, whose health can't be saved, whose finances can't be saved, who might lose out on a dream they never even knew they had. So those are the first couple tips. And now, once you've added these people and you've started these conversations, the bigger question is that, okay, how do I make them friends? Like, how do I get them to actually trust me and make them my friend? And if there's one thing that we've learned about buying patterns over the last couple of years, or it's in history and consumer history, it's word of mouth is the highest recommendation of all. How many times when you have a cool pair of pants or new earrings, or like I said, this eyeliner, how many times you see something on a friend and that friend tells you where to get it and you don't even think twice. You don't even think like, oh, this person's going to get anything off of this. You're just like, okay, I'm going to go buy it because I trust you. So we have to build that trust and be able to build that confidence with these new people we meet. So after we meet these new people, I've got 4 other little tips on how to make them your friends. So the first tip is to keep track, okay? Because once you start doing this, you're going to be talking to so many different people. Like it's ridiculously hard to keep up with them if you're just kind of adding people and then you forget, because then it's just like, oh, it goes from having the potential to be a friend to being that person you had that one conversation with, it's just not going to work. You need to add fire or whatever, little gases to the flame, and just kind of keep the ball rolling and keep it going. Doesn't mean you need to constantly Facebook message each other back and forth, but every couple of weeks, or when they have comments or posts or whatever it is, you're talking to them. You're being their friend like you would with your other friends, with your real friends. And your ways of keeping track can work with anything. I personally, when I first add someone, I usually write it down in my notebook, and then I go into Teamsy. And I start to add them in. I used to be a notebook person, but I'm always on the go, and Teamsy has honestly been just such a great way for me to put things in and just know it. And it's also kind of cool when you see it on the top when it's like, oh, you've added 2 people, you've added 3 people, you've added 4. It just makes you feel good. You're like, yes, I've hit my goals for the day. Like I feel awesome. I've added the 3 contacts, so I'm hitting my goals and I'm on there. But maybe you're not a Teamsy person, or maybe you don't feel like spending the $30 a month. I mean, whatever works for you. Maybe it's going in your Google Drive and making an Excel sheet and putting like, okay, I met like John Smith and I met him on the Pocahontas fan page, and like something about something about him, like you just keep track of them, because if not, it's going to be really, really hard to go back. And then if you have multiple interests and you're in a makeup page, and maybe you're in a Yogis for Life page, like you're not going to remember like who you met where and what that person really liked if you don't write a little note about it. And Facebook Messenger is a really good way, but to keep track of that too. But it's also like, I don't know about you, but like I get a lot of other messages. Like I get messages from my family. I get chain messages, which, I hate. It's such a waste of a notification. I literally hate chain messages like more than anything in the world. I never respond to them too. I don't know if that's rude or not, but I'm like, whatever. I'm not going to respond to them. But we need to find a way to keep track. When you find new friends and stuff, it's good. And me personally, when I like know that like I really hit it off with this person. When I write their name, like I wish I had my notebook, but I threw it somewhere over there and I'm like, I can't get up now. But I usually like put a little highlight or star next to this person. I'm like, oh no, this person and I, like we really hit it off. Because let's be honest, some people you're going to hit it off with a little more than others, and that's okay. Because those are the people that you're really going to help, you're really going to push, and you're really going to just build that friendship. Because I don't know about you guys, but I need this accountability just as much as anyone I meet. I tell my challengers this all the time. I'm like, I need this just as much as you. So don't try to sit here and give me all this credit, okay? Because I do this for a double benefit, okay? It's a two-way street here. And if I don't have you to check in with, then I'm like, all right, whatever. I guess I could just sit back and like do whatever I want. I need this just as much as them. And I always let them know that. Like this is happening in both directions. And so imagine the people that you really hit it off with. Like you're going to be 150% honest with them. You're going to call each other out on your BS. And that's what I love. Those are the people that I need in my life because I've got big goals to make. And Lord knows they are not easy. They're not easy. So that's tip number one. Tip number two for making them your friends is, like I said, following up with them. So maybe it's commenting their posts. For people that I really hit it off with, what I do is I put them like as my favorite in Facebook. And that's something that they don't see. That's something that only I see. And so that means every time they post something, I get a notification. Now, I know it sounds kind of creepy and it might start to get overwhelming if you put a lot of people on your favorites list. But I mean, you could always go back at the end of the day and check all your notifications on Facebook and go back. But that's something that I do for people that I'm like, this person's a hot lead. Like this person would make a really awesome coach. I make them my favorite on Facebook so that, and the reason I do that is so that when I can go back, I can see when they're posting so I can instantly comment, be like, I look like their number one fan, you know, I'm commenting like, oh my God, cute kid, or damn girl, I love that dress, or like, you go girl, like I see you doing this thing, or whatever, you know, whatever your lingo is for you. That's obviously like my thing. Like I go in there and I'm commenting their stuff first because I want them to know I'm your homie, like we're friends. And when I invite you to my challenge group and I tell you that this is going to work, you're going to trust me because you know that I've got your back. Clearly, like I'm always supporting you. I'm always telling you how freaking fabulous you are. So that's just a good thing that, I mean, I don't do that for everyone, but I do that for people that I would mark like a 4 or a 5 on my Team Z scale list. Like people that I really feel like, you know, hot leads. And then, so third tip that I like to do too is obviously, so sometimes maybe you're having these conversations on comments and stuff like that. Sometimes I just take it straight to Facebook Messenger and I just start messaging them and I'm just like, hey guy, you know, yeah, I figured, you know, we might as well just do it here because like not everyone needs to know about this. Or maybe they just posted something super ridiculously interesting and I'm just Facebook messaging them. Like it's just an easy way to be like, oh yeah, I saw your post. Like as an example, this girl who I added to my network a couple of weeks ago, who I honestly forgot about because I'm going to be honest, like I failed so much. Like this is me actually learning these tips, sharing them with you and applying them now. Because let's be honest, none of us started off as like super awesome coaches and we've all made mistakes. I made a crap load of them and now I'm going back and trying to fix them. So this girl who I added to my Facebook page, like maybe over a year ago or something like that, she posted like some apples with like drizzle and like walnuts on it this morning and I liked it and I'm like, you know what? I'm at this Facebook Messenger. So I just wrote to her. I was like, girl, your breakfast just made me so hungry. Gee, thanks. Sarcastic voice, like something like that, something ridiculous, nothing like, will you join my challenge group? Blah, 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 blah. Just something to make her laugh and smile. And it just ended up going into a conversation. She started to tell me, she's like, yeah, you know, I'm trying to eat healthier, blah, blah, blah. And as she's telling me things, I'm like, whoo, writing down like all the things I could suggest, you know, not getting there yet because I don't want to be pushy and stuff like that. Because let's be honest, there's a lot of what I like to call thirsty coaches out there and not just Beachbody coaches. I'm talking It Works and Herba Freaks, like all of them. Like there's so many of them and I don't just want to jump into the sale. Like it's not about that. It's not about going to that, you know, it's about listening and like being like, yeah, I hear that. Like I've had the same struggles before and blah, blah, blah. So you know, I just find like cute little ways to Facebook message them. And then something I always try to do too is personally message people on Messenger for their birthdays. Like I know I've heard that tip a lot and it's just ridiculous. Like the reply you get, like I messaged someone yesterday and then she ended up commenting my video. She's like, oh, she's like, thank you so much for taking time out of your day to like wish me a happy birthday or something, because it's more special than a comment. You know, a comment, you don't even have to go on the person's page for it. You just see it on your little sidebar. You're like, oh, happy birthday, blah, blah, blah. Like, it doesn't take that much thought. But when you personally Facebook message someone, it means something to them. They're like, okay, like Stephanie clearly cares about me. Like, she took time out of her day to personally message me and to see like how I was doing and how my birthday was doing and blah, blah, blah. Like, it just makes them feel good. And at the end of the day, this business is about relationships. So if we're not creating relationships, like, it's not happening. So, oh, thanks, Rach. I just saw your comment on the side. And then my last tip when it comes to like making them your friendship, and I don't know if you guys have noticed this, but on Facebook Messenger, you have a new oh, my phone is like super bright. Okay, I can't show you, but like you have a new feature. It's called a voice note. And obviously I talk a lot faster than my fingers can move. I don't know if you've gotten that a little bit from this, but voice notes are like 10 times more special than writing things out. And honestly, you don't need to do anything ridiculously crazy. You can write out a script for yourself, so you're constantly reading the same thing and you're not going crazy, but you're just, you're writing to this person. You're like, hey, Rachel, how's it going, girl? Listen, I've got this new challenge group coming up. I know that you mentioned that like you did those apples for breakfast because you're like trying to get healthy and stuff, and whatever the case may be, just sending it to them. Because it's that much more special. They know you can't copy and paste a voice note. You can't do that. And aside from it being personal, they hear the genuineness in your voice. They hear like, okay, Stephanie actually cares about me. Like, Stephanie is actually sending me this note, and I can hear in her voice like how ridiculously excited she is and how happy this makes her. It's just a feeling that isn't translated via words. And I don't know about you, but I've gotten comments on my Instagram, even like kind of recently, from other coaches and stuff, Beachbody coaches, who are like, oh, hey, I love your post. I've got this fitness and accountability group on Facebook. Let me know if you'd be interested in joining. And I'm just like I usually just delete them because I don't even have the patience anymore to just say something like, read my bio. You would know I'm a coach if you read my bio. If you were to just scroll and read some of my posts. And it's those copy and paste messages that go back into what I mentioned earlier of the thirsty coach. Like, that's just the person that wants to get out there and get the sale. And people aren't blind to that. People know that. And people are honestly just fed up with being lied to. I remember seeing this presentation at Summit, and I can't remember if it was Carl I feel like it was Carl who presented it, but he said, he gave like, there was basically kind of like a time lapse of all of the fitness infomercials and things that have been on TV over the last 20 years. And we've seen so many fit kids, oh my God, so many quick fixes. Anyone remember the Shake Wake? Okay, I had that stupid Shake Wake thing. That really just looked really bad, okay? I mean, you see my hand, like that's what it was doing the whole time. Okay, that didn't really do too much for you. It was just like, I had this, don't even get me started. Like, I talk to people about this stuff all the time. Like, I can't even tell you all the things I have tried in my life. And at this point, people are fed up. They know that the weight loss industry is one of the #1 industries in the world. And America makes money off of people being unhealthy and overweight. They know this. And there are plenty of other network marketing and MLM companies out there that are not just Beachbody, that are more than the 2 that I mentioned. I mean, I can name like 6 right now if I really wanted to. And those are just the ones that I've heard of. Imagine like the other smaller ones that you probably haven't heard of before. There's a lot. So you don't want to be a copy and paste coach. You want to be someone that's going to build that relationship, that's going to get people to trust you. Because let's be honest, we're all on this call and we're all a part of Team Beachbody because we know this stuff works. We know what it's done for our lives. We know that it's not BS, and it's just that much harder to get people to believe it because they've been lied to for so long, because they've struggled for so long, and because not only are there weight loss people out there trying to sell things to them, but there are people in so many other products, Mary Kay, Avon, like there's so many other people out there trying to sell them things. And something I learned when I was in school, did you know the average person sees over 5,000 ads a day? Ads. And I'm talking about from seeing not just TV, I'm talking transit ads, I'm talking about radio ads, I'm talking about Facebook ads. And this is paid advertising. This is not including all of the people who are in MLMs and direct selling now. So imagine how much our minds are just oversaturated right now with being sold things to. I mean, sometimes I say, I'm like, I work for the devil in a sense. I work to literally sell things for people. So I know what it is, and I've seen it on the back end, and I'm just like, that's another reason I'm like, as much as I, enjoy the industry and being creative and stuff like that, I'm just like, yeah, I don't think this is for me. I think in the future, I'm going to find my own way to be creative, because I just don't really believe in this stuff as much anymore. But I mean, yeah, it goes back to that. We are so used to being sold things that we don't want to be sold things anymore. I want to feel like I'm finding a friend who's going to give me a solution, who's going to help me, and who's going to be there to guide me through it. Beachbody's secret is 3 things. It's that fitness, it's that nutrition, and that support. And I feel like nobody else in the world can offer these 3 things the way we do it. Nobody has better fitness programs. Nobody has a better supplement than Shakeology. I don't care. I've tried them all. Nothing has made me feel as good. I mean, to my ladies out there, not sorry, Rob, not to be TMI, but I'm like, my hormone imbalance was really, really bad a few years ago. I had really bad hormone imbalance. I was not on a regular cycle, and now I'm like clockwork. Every 30 days, I'm like, I can tell you exactly when and what is happening. Like, nothing has ever done that for me. And that's what I love about Shakeology. It gives every single person out there has a different story. And that's what I try to explain to people, but they just kind of think like I'm crazy when I tell them at first. I'm like, I've known people who it's helped them with their fibromyalgia. It's helped them with, their diabetes, with their cholesterol, because we're all nutrient deprived and everybody is different. And like, to me, Shakeology, and I don't know, I mean, you guys know this, has been the one thing that's like, it really is a one size fits all. Like, it really is. And if you don't like the recipe or flavor, like, you need to switch it up, because there are plenty of ways to make it taste different and to make it taste amazing. And I need people to understand this, but I can't get them to understand this if I don't hear their problems, if I don't know what they're going through, if they don't trust me enough to tell me, I'm trying to have babies and I can't have them, or, my diabetes or my high cholesterol. If I don't get them to trust me and tell me that, I can never tell them then how I have the solution for them. So that's why, aside from wanting to hit Success Club and the business stuff, like, this is so important. It's so important to find friends out there, because we have a job. Like, we have a serious job out there, and it's to help save people from all of the crap out there, help save them from, doing things that are going to hurt themselves more, drinking, drugs, whatever the case may be. It's on us. And I find it such a blessing to be able to get out there and to do that. So yeah, those are, I'm like, okay, I think I've talked a lot now. I'm like, those are kind of my little tips there. I'm sure I've got like other things to say, but yeah.
You did amazing. I mean, wow. This really, you left me with so little to say at the end. Honestly, you did it. I'm not even kidding. You did an amazing job. And this is ending in 10 minutes. We're ending soon anyway. Okay. So, wow, you did amazing. I gotta applaud you there, because that was incredible. You literally covered up so much information. Guys, I hope you took notes, because that was literally gold nugget after gold nugget after gold nugget. It was so good. But hold on, I gotta mute some people.
Are you serious?
Hold on. Okay, sorry about that. Okay, so here's my closing notes, just to, mesh this all together at the very end, and this is really just so important, and I don't want you guys to miss this point right here, okay? Don't be disgenuine. Be a genuine person and be real, and don't build relationships with people to get a sale. Build relationships with people because you really want to make friends with them, and you do this out of your heart. Don't do it because you're trying to get people on your team. You're trying to hit Success Club, and people will smell that right away. They know what you're trying to do, and you're gonna have commission breath, and people don't want to smell your commission breath. It stinks. So don't do this for money. Do this for solid, serious, and true friendships. I mean, we're all friends here. We all trust each other. And because it's all real, we all connected, and we all did it in the right and correct way and for the right reasons. So when you're making friends with people, just keep that in mind. And don't be fake. Be yourself. Be as real as you possibly can. And people that will set you apart, and that will bring you so much higher above all these other people, and it will literally bring you to the top. It'll be so much different than dealing with someone from friggin' It Works or something else, because we're real. We are genuine people looking to help people, and we do have a real job. And it's so much more important than anything that I could possibly imagine doing in this life. And I've really helped so many people doing this, and I know you guys all of you understand all this already, but that's how it starts. We pass all the BS by being real. We surpass everything by being who we are and making true, genuine connections with people. And we also, not only do we do that, but we also make great friends. And, you know, people, everyone on my team, the people I personally recruited and in my group, I have a relationship with. And I can honestly and truly call all these people my friends because I care about them. And I mean that, and it shows. And I never lead with my pockets. I lead with my heart. So always lead with your heart and be yourself. And don't ever forget that. It's so, so important. And people will, I'm telling you, they'll smell that from you. And they'll know who you are, and they'll tell if you're being fake or not. So I think that's honestly it. I don't know if you guys have any questions or comments, but I'm going to post a recording on my channel. Steph, you killed it. That was amazing. Like, you did such a good job tonight. I think that's a sufficient call. Guys, thank you so much for coming on. I think this time works for the majority of us, and we've got 8 people on tonight. That's pretty good. That's like an average number. So I think Tuesdays at 9 o'clock will remain the time for team calls. But I'll see you guys next week, and we'll think of something else to do. Maybe I'll have another guest speaker or something. But guys, thank you so much. Have an awesome Tuesday night. I hope to hear from you guys soon. If you guys have any questions, just post in the group. We have a group chat going on, so if you want to post in that too, you could also do that. But stay in touch and keep tuning into these team calls every Tuesday. They're so important, and I want to make these team calls so filled with information that it leaves no guesswork and there's no questions and no one has any idea what to do. We will answer everything today. Today, 9 o'clock Tuesdays is the day we get everything on the table and we share what works. But thank you guys for coming on again, and have a great night.